Wahkare Khety was an ancient Egyptian pharaoh of the 9th or 10th dynasty during the First Intermediate period. His name is attested in the Royal Canon of Turin. Identity. The identity of Wahkare Khety is controversial. While some scholars believe that he was the founder of the 9th dynasty, many others place him in the subsequent 10th dynasty. 9th dynasty hypothesis. If Wahkare Khety was the founder of the 9th dynasty, he may be identified with the Hellenized king Attribution, the founder of this dynasty according to Manethor. Manethor reports, the first of these kings, Attribution, behaving more cruel than his predecessors, wrought woes for the people of all of Egypt. But afterwards he was smitten with madness and killed by a crocodile. If this hypothesis is correct, Wahkare Khety may have been a Heracleopolitan prince who profited from the weakness of the Memphite rulers of the 8th dynasty to seize the throne of Middle and Lower Egypt around 2150 BC. This hypothesis is supported by contemporary inscriptions referring to the northern, Heracleopolitan kingdom as the House of Khety. Although that only proves that the founder of the 9th dynasty was a Khety, but not necessarily Wahkare Khety. 10th dynasty hypothesis. Many scholars believe instead that Wahkare Khety was a king of the 10th dynasty, identifying him with the Khety who was the alleged author of the famous teaching for King Merikare, thus placing him between Neferkare VIII and Merikare. In this reconstruction, Wahkare is the last Heracleopolitan king bearing the name Khety, and the cruel Ichthys, founder of the 9th dynasty, is identified with Merikare Khety, and the House of Khety must refer to him instead. From the instructions, it is known that Wahkare Khety, in alliance with the nomarchs of the Lower Egypt, managed to repel the nomad Asiatics, who for generations roamed in the Nile Delta. Those nomarchs, although recognizing Ware's authority, ruled de facto more or less independently. The expulsion of the Asiatics allowed the establishment of new settlements and defense structures on the northeastern borders, as well as the reprise of trades with the Levantine coast. Wahkare, however, warned Merikare not to neglect guarding these borders, as the Asiatics still were considered a danger. In the south, Wahkare and the faithful nomarch of Asayat Tefibi retook the city of Thinis, previously captured by the Thebans led by Intef II. However, the troops of Heracleopolis sacked the sacred necropolis of Thinis, a serious crime sadly reported by Wahkare himself, which caused the immediate reaction of the Thebans, who later finally captured the Thinite nomis. After those events, Wahkare Khety decided to leave the bellicose policy and begin a phase of peaceful coexistence with the southern kingdom, which endured until part of the reign of his successor Merikare, who succeeded the long reign, 5 decades, of Wahkare. Attestations. There is no contemporary evidence bearing his name. A 12th dynasty coffin inscribed with coffin texts bearing Wahkare Khety's name was found in Deir el-Bersha and now is in the Cairo Museum. It is unknown if the texts were originally inscribed for Wahkare Khety, or if they were simply copied later from an earlier source.